This is BB, and with this gang stalking, mob stalking, one of the things that I want to address today is hopefully somebody out there, who's going through the same thing, whether it's in its beginning stages or it's in advanced stages or whatever is happening to them. Or if you know of someone who is going through this and you're not kind of believing them because you're not really seeing any signs or symptoms of it happening, remember you're not always there with the person, and they're most likely not going to do it when you're around. They're not going to do it when you're around. See, the whole point of this gang stalking, mob stalking, is to make the individual, the targeted person, look like they're crazy, look like they're discombobulated, look like they're just out of whack. They're just going all over the place. Because they'll come at you. They came at me, bam, 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 all around. See, just like how you're training for a job, you have to learn. Let's any job. You wanna be a nurse. You have to do your prerequisites. You have to pass those. Then you have to get into nursing school. Then that's for 2 years. Then if you want to get a BSN, that's another 2 years. There's stages to everything. Now these are people who have done this more than once. They're seasoned at doing this, so they know what to do. It's like almost a job skill they have learned. They know what to do. So it doesn't take them long to get the individual completely turned around and discombobulated is the word. To get them confused, to get them, well, not so much confused, because despite all the harrying, all the hustle, the bustle, all the bam, 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 bam all around them, the one thing they have is they know they are not doing this to themselves. See, as individuals, I've said this before and I say it again, we know when we're being slackers. We know when we're messing up. We know when we're in the state of denial, when we're doing something that is not good for us or anybody else, and we keep doing it, and we find every excuse in the book to keep doing it. That's a state of denial, and we all know that because we've all been there. We know what denial is. Don't want to work, find every excuse in the book not to get up off the couch, turn off the TV, go look for a job. Don't want to. It's raining, it's sunshine. We know that. We know the excuses. So we know that. We can eliminate that. We also know what medical condition is, because believe me, when this happens to you, you examine everything. You know there's nothing wrong with you. You know when you're hearing voices, you would know, and when actually you're with one particular voice you might hear, and you come in a combination with other things that are happening around you. These are not excuses. These are not imaginations. They're not just us theorizing or supposing or conjecture. It's called things actually happening with physical proof. Now, a person may come and talk to us for 20 minutes. They may come and talk to us for 20 minutes and nobody will be there to do anything abnormal around us. The same vehicle will not pass us 6 times in a row. Nobody will pass and say something out loud. Nobody will come looking in your door. No, nothing like that. The telephone is not going to ring. You're not going to have some text message with somebody offering you sex. Nothing abnormal, right? You're not going to smell any bleach or chlorine or kerosene or hear spritz. You're not going to hear any elbows against the wall outside. So you come for 20 minutes and you sit down and you don't hear anything. You say this is an imagination. But the whole point, it's not for you. It's to make you, the outsider, know this is happening to a friend. It's to make you see your friend as having a mental problem. To see them as having, or they're not credible. They're not fit for like taking care of themselves. This is like there's something wrong with them. That's another thing I've come to see. Is like, it's almost like they want us to be in a state where we're projecting an image of not being able to take care of ourselves, of not being able to be an independent individual. And how do you do this? You got to completely bulldoze that person. You got to completely wreck that person's life. You got to wreck them financially. You got to wreck them emotionally, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, financially, everything. You got to wreck all their relationships. And I don't mean in a sense of just romantic, familial relationships. You gotta wreck those too. And one of the things they do is make it look like you're using drugs, or you're drinking alcohol, or there's something wrong with you. Now, when they're hacking, what's like the ultimate a hacker can do? If they're hacking, I'm assuming they can hack into databases. Russian hackers are doing it. The EDD was attacked a few months ago, I think, or last year. I don't know when it was attacked, but I know they arrested 2 people. I saw that. So if they can hack into these places, why not they can hack into places and put stuff against your name? And think about what I'm saying. If they do that against your name, you clear your name, right? Because they will have to show, let's say that they stick a stigma on me like I get into a fist fight with someone. Police will have to go back and find the person I was in the fist fight with, unless I was, beating myself up. Do you ever see this person? No. There's no fist fight. They know something wrong there. But what they will try to do, again, looking at money being the motive for this, they'll try to do that to get cases thrown out of court. So you don't know what's lie and what's the truth. But look how deep it'll go. Look how deep it'll go. If they put me in a fist fight with another person, and I punch the lights out of that person. No, I never see this person. They have a lot of money. They can go get somebody to say, yes, she was in a fist fight. But they would have to go bribe that person, bribe a police officer, and bribe a judge or magistrate or whatever they call them. Would they go through to such lengths? And why? Why would they go? Because there's got to be something attached to my name that they want. There's got to be something attached to me that they want, or something they believe I know about them that will put an end to their tea party, that will put an end to their masquerade, that will put an end to their skit, their theater they have. So it's one of two things. It's either there's money attached to my name, or something that I have, some credentials or something, because somebody was talking about that, and she was mentioning that she has a lot of credentials, that she worked for, government agencies. And you got to be careful with that. Maybe that's what they're after. Who knows? Maybe they can pretend to be whatever agency you were involved with. You got to be careful with your paperwork, with your sign-ins, with your badges. You got to be something thereafter that she has. I always would tend to look at the person and see what is it they have to offer too. Or who do they know if they don't have any liquid assets? Maybe they have something that they don't even know about. You know how many people out there have money floating around that's attached to their names and they don't know? One of the things is, I read this a few years ago, where we would go someplace like to cut our hair, or a doctor's office, and you see these little, not just raffle, but you fill out something for something. You just fill it out and you put it in the box because it's a time waster. You don't even look back. But you win them. There's many things out there that people do, and many people buy lottery tickets and they don't look back. Many people do what the publisher clearinghouse and they don't look back. There's many people out there, I'm sure, with winnings, but these people are now hacking with the sole purpose of looking to see who has money out there. Who has money out there? Now, what are some of the government, what's some of the agencies that they could find this information out from? FBI? IRS? Immigration? Social Security? I don't know. So these are things that are fact-based that I look upon. I know the gang stalking. I know it's out there. I know it's happening. But I like to look at things from a realistic point of view. It's like, why would it happen? And where is the perpetrator, the real person who's pulling the strings, even the strings of the stalkers? Because the stalkers is on his or her payroll, basically. They're funding that. What's in it for them? Who's funding them? Where are they getting their funds from? Who's footing the bill for the perpetrator, so that the perpetrator has deep pockets that they can pay for stalkers? Because stalkers, at the end of the day, have one goal: is to make to make this person's life hell. But it's like a set protocol: is to make them look confused, to make them look like they're running around in circles, to make them look like they're unstable, unsteady, uncertain, and they basically are not capable of taking care of themselves, and they're not productive, they can't achieve anything, they're drug users, drug dealers, or they have to resort to prostitution, anything at all. Because they can come up with a woman, just like that, and then people wonder, well, how is she making a living? It's just like that in itself is almost like a smear campaign against the person. It's to damage their reputation. But I believe it's getting worse. I believe it's getting worse. One theory I have, and this is just a theory, I'm not accusing anybody, is that there are people who sell green cards. The green card fraud. Visa fraud. They have people come into the country, they'll probably supply the green card, get them in here. These are people they're going to bring with money. What they'll do, in my opinion, they bring them here, they know where they are. They'll probably clean out the person who are in the homeland. They'll probably clean out what they have here, get them deported. See, when immigration comes and they knock on your door, they don't care, they just take you. You don't have time, what I was told, you don't have time to look for anything. You're gone. They don't look back. Then they come in and they take whatever they can get. When the person goes back there, now they're broke. They're broke here, they're broke there too. And they can't get back on their feet. It's going to take a long time. Who's going to fight on their behalf? That's one way of looking at things. This is why it's always best to come here legally. It's always best to come here legally. Me, I like to do things not because I consider myself Miss Law Enforcement. No, I just don't want to go to jail. I don't think I'll do too well in jail. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want my freedom taken away. But really and truly, one of the things I hate about it is how they come at you. It's this bam, 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 how they come at you. It's just, they just come at you. Because I had 2 phones when this all started. Then I ended up with 3 phones because I thought I was going to outsmart the hackers. Buy the phone. By the time I come home, they're already on it. I sat there on my couch, my recliner, and I made sure I did not hook it up to the internet, which is, I was paying for the internet. And when I'm on 4G and I'm trying to get, flick and quite in the dark, right? Because I'm trying to outsmart the hacker, right? Next thing I know, the camera at the top just glowed red. I'm like, whoa. Then the toggle button for the on off for the internet, it just turned on by itself. I watched it and it's going off, on, and I'm watching it. It's like they're toying with you. It's almost like they want to convey this message. There's nothing you can do. Look at what we can do. There's nothing you can do, which is childish. But the psychological damages, because you get angry, you get frustrated. And then they don't do it when nobody else is there, because they're cowards. They're cowards. They don't come in your face and do it. They'll sneak in and do it. They don't come in your face. And with this new technology, with maybe microchipping or nanobots or whatever they call them, or graphene, whatever it is, I don't know. These things seems to be in the wrong hands, on the wrong technology. They could do a lot of damages. I think they should be regulated a lot more stricter right now. Even these people with these like MySpy and Spike, I understand it's all about, you want to keep your kids safe, you want to know where they're at all the times. But what about adult? What about an adult like me, per se? Somebody could say, well, they hack in, all right? They got my somehow they got a hold of my phone number. I don't know what you need to get Spike on somebody's phone. They just put my phone number in. They made up something and they put it in. Who's verifying this information? Is it regulated by the government? Then they see all your text messages. You can't use the card on anything you want. It's basically, you know, you're like a child being monitored by these assholes. You're like a child being monitored by them. You can't do anything you want with your own funds. You don't have freedom, and you're a grown adult. Why would someone do this? Why would they do this? Why would they go to this extreme length? Are they trying to keep the person from finding out something on the internet? Or keep them hidden? For what reason? For what reason? And for whose benefit? For the person's benefit? Are they trying to impress somebody else? Are they trying to make the person look like they're in their charge, in their care? What are they trying to do here? What is this about? I mean, if you have money, I guess, and you're mentally unstable, or you can't take care of yourself, they can establish themselves as your caregivers. Then they have control over your funds. They can make themselves a power of attorney over you. See, all these things go through my mind. So let's examine these further. These are real possibilities of what people are doing. So please, if you see someone out there who's saying this, don't ignore them. Don't leave them hanging. Please just sit down and talk with them. Try to get to the bottom of it. On the same note, I'm not saying everything you see is something wrong. Don't get paranoid. Keep a cool head. Keep a sane head. And keep your thought within reason. Fact-base everything. Fact-check everything. See what's actually happening and build a story, or build whatever you're fearing from something real. Something that actually has happened, is happening to you. Stick to the facts and you'll get to the bottom of it.